price. That's it. We can end the video. Let's face it, your home has been on the market longer than most people keep a New Year's resolution, and that is a problem. Today, we're going to go over the 3 most common reasons why I think homes sit on the market for a long time right now in Simcoe County, and what you should be doing before your listing starts to collect dust. My name is Ben Robitaille. I'm a realtor serving Simcoe County and Muskoka. I try to put out videos every week giving buyers and sellers and investors helpful tips on how to make smart real estate choices in the Canadian real estate market. So yes, today we're going to go over the 3 most common reasons why listings are not selling in Simcoe County. And at the end of this video, I'm going to debunk a bit of a myth about how exposure works for listings in the real estate world. A lot of realtors like to promise the world in terms of how listings get out there, and I'm going to explain to you how it really happens. Now, the first reason houses in Simcoe County aren't selling, and a lot of people might turn the video off after this, but bear with me. I promise you it gets better, or maybe not better, but at least hear my reasoning why. Overpricing. Now, buyers are so savvy. They know the market in and out better than ever before in the history of time because they have so much information available right at the tip of their fingertips. I had a buyer a couple weeks ago come to me with 10 comparable properties and their sold prices that they thought matched the house we were going to look at. Now, this is all information publicly available. Sure, you have to put in your email and give away some personal information, but for the most part, if you want to find these numbers out, there's a way. And because buyers are so informed, if your listing doesn't match current market conditions in terms of price, not only are they not even going to put an offer in, they're not even going to look at it. Right now in Simcoe County, if you're pricing your listing even 5% over what perceived market value would be, chances are you're not getting any offers, maybe not getting any showings. Not only that, there's a tough pill to swallow when it comes to pricing is when we're in a downward market, just because neighbor sold for X doesn't necessarily mean you're going to hit that price. So this is where positional pricing becomes really important. You need to look at other listings in your neighborhood and price accordingly so that you're competitive amongst all the options that buyers have in the current market. And if you're sitting there being like, well, my realtor told me that I could get this much more for my house and it just hasn't happened, I'm not immune to the price reduction. I've had to ask sellers to reduce their price before. But there is a segment of the realtor population that will buy your listing. And what I mean by that is they'll come in, tell you what you want to hear, tell you your house is worth $1 million and really it's worth $8 million, sign the listing agreement, and 20 to 30 days in, they start getting to work on reducing the price. So make sure when you're going to list your home, you have a real conversation using actual data on how to properly price the house. The last thing you want to do is make all these plans to move, maybe find the next house and realize, oh, we can't actually afford it because we can't sell for what our realtor told us we could sell for. So the big solution to overpricing is get reality-based, data-driven pricing options from your realtor, and then have expectations built out from however you decide to price. Number 2 is poor marketing and presentation. Now, again, I'm going to go over how listings are exposed from the Canadian Real Estate Association standpoint and how data gets distributed everywhere. But when I talk marketing and presentation, I'm talking about the photos and video. If someone is taking photos on their iPhone, run away, sprint, Usain Bolt as fast as you can out of there. HDR photography should be standard. Video should be standard. It doesn't matter on the listing. 99% of buyers start their home search online. So if your photos aren't good and accurately represent what your house looks like and is presented to be, then you're starting off on the wrong foot. You are not reaching almost all the buyers that are out there in the best way possible. In the same light, this is kind of like online dating. You don't want to have the most beautiful profile photo in the world and then show up and disappoint your date. The same thing goes for housing. Yes, brush your teeth, do your hair, but make sure that your teeth are brushed and your hair is combed when the buyer shows up to see the house. If the basement's unfinished, don't shy away from that. Don't necessarily hide. You want to set the buyer up for a successful showing, so be sure to be fairly transparent with what the house is online. So that way when they show up, they're like, yes, this is exactly what I expected it to be. Price seems right. Let's move forward and make an offer. And then you're on your way to the next house. Third is you're attracting the wrong type of buyer. Now, there are many things about a listing that are often out of the seller or house's control that will define what your target audience is for that listing. Things like location, price, number of bedrooms, school districts, employment opportunities. Now, there are exceptions to every rule, but if I have a $1.2 million 5-bed, 3-bath waterfront listing, I'm typically not going to market that to a first-time home buyer. Now, some first-time home buyers, sure, it might be in their wheelhouse, but we want to go after the largest group of people that could be interested in that house. So everything from your listing description, your brochures, your marketing efforts, if you're doing targeted ads on Facebook, Instagram, platform dependent, depending on the demographic you're after, everything should be geared towards that largest pool of buyers. And it's important to A, define who they are, and then B, actually go after and target them. Which brings me into how exposure works with a listing online. Now, when realtors, myself included, come in and say, oh, we have a specific marketing plan designed just for you and your house that we do for every single listing we have. Yes, that's true to some extent. But what 95% of realtors will do is they will take your listing, post it on MLS. What happens from it there is it goes up to the Canadian Real Estate Association's data distribution feed. And what every other website that has listings on it in Canada does is taps into that feed and puts the listings on their website. So the first place it goes is to realtor.ca. And then it goes to all the listing brokerages website, my website included, bensells.ca, and then your House Sigmas, your Zillow, etc. They all pull those listings from there. From that source alone, your listing does get a ton of exposure. And if you know any buyer anywhere who's searching for a house, they're either looking on realtor.ca or House Sigma. They will see your listing. When realtors talk about marketing beyond that, they're talking about maybe they're promoting your video on YouTube, a platform like this. Or maybe they're targeting buyers on Facebook with a lead gen form and they're actually paying to promote that out there. Beyond that, maybe they're sending your listing out to their database to try and generate buzz before the listing goes live. But at the end of the day, the best chance you have of getting your listing seen by people who are actively buying is by posting on MLS, having it go to the data distribution feed, and then getting that listing out on every single real estate website under the moon. So I hope that helps. I hope your listings sell fast. I hope you as sellers can follow some of this advice and have a successful transaction. If you found this information at all helpful, consider subscribing to the channel. We'd love to hit 400 subscribers at some point this year. Big goals, I know. And if you have questions about real estate anywhere in Canada or want to at least be pointed in the right direction, the first link in the description of this video, you can book a 15-30-minute call with me, whatever works for you. And we can at least figure out where you're at and get you pointed in the right direction. Again, my name is Ben Robitaille. I serve Simcoe County and South Muskoka. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one.